Hey guys, welcome to Card Game Core. I'm Michael Edwards. I'm a Scottish player and I've been playing for the past 3 years. I've been to the international championships down in London and I've also been to the UK nationals down in Liverpool in 2016. Both were good events, quite fun. Didn't do too great, unfortunately, but hey ho, things happen. I've got 3 booster boxes of Guardians Rising and I'm going to crack these open in today's video and show you guys what I'm pulling. And yeah, we'll get started. So, first box. Sometimes these things are a bit of a pain to open up, unfortunately, but cool. First box. We're going to take the left side first. As most people know, there's a card trick with these. So, 3 and 3. Some people do 4 and 2, but I'm going to do 3 and 3, as I've noticed some people do, and it's quite nice. It just makes it a lot simpler so we know what the end card is. And off we go. So, first, we've got Castform, Vanilla, Murkrow, Salandit, Nosepass, Alter the Moon. Alter the Moon's a pretty good card with this format, especially with stuff like Turbo Darkrai or Yveltal, more than Turbo Darkrai, because Turbo Darkrai is actually dying off as of now. There's also a few other good decks with, for example, using Drampa and Yveltal is probably one of the best choices, but you can pair it with other things like maybe Tyranitar for some casual decks. The new Honchkrow is quite nice. I quite like Honchkrow in this set. It's a bit underrated in my opinion, but this thing's actually good for Psychic and Dark Energies, so you can also pair it with, for example, Lunala, Alakazam, Wobbuffet based decks, Garbodor, Lele, which are probably the best choices, seeing as they're the most popular choice right now. It's the most competitive deck that we're seeing in this format at the moment. We've also got Mallow. Mallow's an alright card, not one of the best, but it's alright. Alter the Sun, not that great. Rescue Stretchers or Reverse Hall, and we've got a Half Art Sylveon, which is quite nice. And we've got a Fighting Energy. On to pack number 2. We've got a Clefairy, Litwick, Gligar, Vanillite, Mudbray, Whimsicott, Mareanie, Hala, a reverse Absol, and a normal rare Blissey, and Steel Energy. Sorry guys, you probably can't see some of these. Pack number 3. We've got Lone Geodude, Patrat, Litwick, Pancham, Snorunt, Hala, Glalie, Weepinbell, Reverse Alone Vulpix, which is quite nice for the Ninetales deck. I quite like this card, especially with a free attack such as Beacon. You don't need any energies. You search up to 2 Pokemon from your deck, reveal them, and put them in your hand, which is quite nice. It forces your opponent to either end, or if they don't, you actually get what you want straight away, which is really nice. And a rare Turtonator. And a Fairy Energy. Oh. Fourth pack, Carvanha, Patrat, Gothita, Castform, Tentacool, Alomola, Choice Band. Choice Band is one of the best cards that's actually come out of this set, just for the fact that it can, when you attach it to one of your Pokemon and you hit an EX or a GX, you do 30 more damage, and that is phenomenal in this format, especially for the power creep. You just keep one-shotting things, maybe two-shotting, but more of the time you're going to be one-shotting, especially with big heavy EXs, such as you can use it with Gliscopod, you can use it with what else? You can use it with Sylveon itself. You can use it with Garbodor. You can use it with Lele. Lele's probably one of the best choices for this card. You can use it with Yveltal and shoot a lot higher with this card. It makes such a difference. Also, Vanillish, a reverse Gliscopod. Gliscopod's really nice. It's a stage 1 with the ability Armor, so this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance, and then it's got the attack Resolute Claws, 80 damage, and if your opponent's active Pokemon is a GX or an EX Pokemon, then it does 70 more damage, so that's 150 for a Grass and double Colorless. If you stick a Choice Band on, that's 180. That's a one shot to most EXs and GXs that have no Fighting Fury belts on them. It also has 130 HP for stage 1, which is actually alright, especially when you've got Armor as the ability. It's got a 2 retreat cost and a fire weakness as per usual, but that's actually alright for this guy. And then we've got a rare Pro Pass, or Nigel Thornberry. Everyone loves Nigel Thornberry. We've also got a Water Energy. Pack number 5. Three and 3. Okay. Stuffle, Alolan Sandshrew, Cottony, Bellsprout, Gligar, Whimsicott, Aether Paradise Conservation Area. Bit of a mouthful that one is. It's not the best stadium, especially when we've got Field Blower around, but it's actually alright. You've either got the choice of using this or Rough Seas when you're using electric based decks. This can come in handy, especially if you're wanting to take the less damage. If you're playing grass, most of the time you're going to play Forest Giant Plants. I see that after the rotation, when Forest is gone, this could actually replace it for some decks, especially with Bulu around, so it's not that bad. Alolan Graveler, a reverse Weepinbell, and Salazzle. Salazzle's been quite interesting. The fact that you're poison and burning your opponent with the ability Hot Poison, when you drop this Pokemon to evolve into it, then you can burn and poison your opponent's active Pokemon. And with the new rule on burn, it's not that bad. It means 30 extra damage, and if they're still burned by the end of the turn, then they're going to take more burn and poison, so that's 60 extra damage on the next turn. So this guy can actually be pretty interesting, but it's not the best of things. We also have Darkness Energy. Pack number 6. We have Chansey, a Snorunt, Pancham, Bellsprout, Cottony, Fletchinder, Sliggoo, Bewear, a reverse Chansey, and a normal rare Chandelure. Chandelure's actually been an interesting card. I don't see it seeing many competitive play, but in some fun decks it could see some play, especially with the ability Shady Move. Once during your turn before you attack, you may move one damage card from one Pokemon to another. So it could be one of your Pokemon to one of theirs, one of their Pokemon to one of theirs. If for any god knows reason you want to move move a damage from one of their Pokemon to one of yours, you can do. It's quite interesting. But most of the time you'll just be moving damages from yours to theirs. But I don't see this card being very helpful in the meta at all, not even in some fun decks. It's not a right card. It's got Super Singe's attack for 1 fire energy, 50 damage, your opponent's burned, and lightning energy. Three and three. We've got a Gothita, a Chansey, Petal, Helioptile, Tentacool, Multi-Switch, Sliggoo, Bewear, a reverse Weepinbell, and a rare Oricorio, and a Psychic Energy. Next pack. Three and three. Okay. Matchup. Helioptile, Murkrow, Lone Sandshrew. Matchup. Enhance Hammer. Enhance Hammer is actually still great. Last format before this set, we weren't seeing much play of it. People were replacing it with other things because we weren't seeing that many special energies. But with this new set, especially with Lily, Sylveon, and some other decks, we're actually seeing double colors coming back. Rainbow Energy coming back. So this thing's actually not that bad. I'm actually glad that it's come back into serious play. We've got the new Aqua Patch. Aqua Patch is just like Dark Patch, but for water Pokemon. So you attach your water energy from your discard pile to one of your bench water Pokemon. This makes such a difference for decks such as Ninetales. The new Wishy-Washy can try and pull this off, but I don't actually think Wishy-Washy is actually worth it, especially when we've got Yveltal around. Because they can just build up and one-shot you at that point. You can use this with Alolan Ninetales, and it makes it a lot faster at this point. Aqua Patch is a good card. We also have Weepinbell, a reverse Tentacool, and a rare Lilligant, Fire Energy. Three and three. Let's move these out of the way. Okay, so we've got a Barboach, Phantom, Machop, Fletchling, Alolan Vulpix, Mareanie, Fletchinder, Sableye. Sableye was talked about for quite a while because of the move limitation for 1 Darkness Energy. Your opponent can't play supporter cards from their hand during their next turn. So people thought that putting this in the Decidueye Vileplume deck would be like playing Sableye Garbodor and just shut people off completely. Unfortunately, through some testing, it just didn't seem that worth it. people really didn't want to play this guy. After playing it, people just kept knocking it out, and it didn't make much difference really. So I don't see this guy actually influencing the meta that much. Decidueye, if planning to do the same thing it's always done with Tauros, maybe the new Drampa. So there's no point in this guy really, not anytime soon. We have a reverse Machoke and a Swallow Rare. We also have a Grass Energy. Three on three. Fletchling, Petal, Beldum, Alolan Vulpix, Slowpoke, Watchog, Multi-Switch, Komoola, a reverse Clefairy, and a full art Lycanroc GX. I'm actually quite happy with this pull. I love Lycanroc because of the Bloodthirsty Eye ability. It's just like the Ninetales from Dragons Exalted with the Bright Look ability. So it's basically Lysander. When you evolve into this Pokemon, you can Lysander one of your opponent's Pokemon. I quite like that. But this card's actually a little bit better because it's also got some decent attacks such as Claw Slash for 110. And its GX move, Dangerous Rogue GX. 50 times each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It only costs 1 fighting energy and a Colossus to do that. Claw Slash is 1 fighting energy and a double Colossus. I find this guy's really good, and it'll be something to watch out for in the meta. You can play this guy in decks like Raichu as well. I used to play Raichu with Bright Look Ninetales. I might actually pick the deck back up again and add in Lele's, Lycanrocs, and some other things. It seems quite interesting, especially with the new Choice Band. I can actually hit a lot higher now. I quite like this card. It's also really good paired with the Lycanroc GX promo that we had. Both make a really solid deck together, but I might actually just build around this version. It's quite nice for the 110, makes such a difference, especially when you're choosing your targets from now on. And we have a fighting energy to go along with that, Lycanroc GX. Let's move these out of the way. 3 and 3. We have a Trubbish, a Delibird, a Jangmo-o. I hate these weird names with the new dragon types. Tailo, Carvanha, Vanillish, Enhance Hammer, Alomola, a reverse Oricorio, and Victini. Victini I'm actually quite happy with because it's basically Fliptini from the old sets. Victory Star, once during your turn after you flip any coins for an attack, you may ignore all results of those coin flips and begin flipping those coins again. You can't use more than one Victory Star ability each turn. The fact that you can't use it more than once each turn, that's fair enough. It would be a bit broken. You can play so much with this guy, but for the fact that you can ignore it once makes such a difference. You can play this with Toxapex, you can play it with Incineroar. I'm sure there's other things that you can play this guy with, and with future sets coming out, this guy actually might be quite decent to play. I quite like this card. And we have a Fairy Energy. Next pack. Just throwing everything away, unfortunately. Don't have that much space as for now. As you notice with the quality of the video, I'm having to use my tablet for this until I can get some better equipment, but as for now, this is what I've got to make do with. We have a Vanillite, a Clefairy, Rockruff, Barboach, a Lone Golem, Energy Lotto. This card is actually, I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but I actually love this card very much, just for the fact that you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you may reveal an energy card from there and add it to your hand. A lot of people think, why would I want to do that when I can Professor's Letter or something? The fact is, you can actually search double colorless, double dragon with this. I've got a nice deck that I want to run with just 4 double colorless, and this makes it a lot easier. And before people start thinking, wait, is this guy talking about Night March? No, I play standard format more than expanded, and I like Night March, but it's not one of the things that I want to take this in. I'll reveal the deck in a few weeks when I start building it. But this guy, this card is just a bit silly in my opinion. It's really stupid just for the fact that you can actually get what you need from your deck a lot faster, especially with the cycling through the deck through Ultra Balls, Lele, Sycamore as well. Just thin the deck down, drop this, and you can get DCE a lot faster. It's quite a nice card, and I think it's a bit underrated. We also have the new Machoke. Machoke's interesting. I don't see it making that much of a difference anytime soon, but it's got an interesting ability. It's similar to Mr. Mime, but a little bit better. Don't Impose. So prevent all damage done to your bench Pokemon by your opponent's attacks. Your opponent's attacks and abilities can't put damage counters on your bench Pokemon, so they can't spread damage. So one of the best examples is Decidueye. If you've got this guy on your bench, they can't use Decidueye to spread any damage onto your Pokemon at all. It's an interesting counter, but I don't see it making that much of a difference. There's better ways around those sort of decks at the moment, and just taking this for that one matchup doesn't seem worth it. But it's still a good card. Maybe in future when we see other things that can spread, then yes, we will probably see this. If the new Trevenant with the break starts seeing some play, we might start taking this as well for against those 2 matchups at least. But as of now, I don't see it being played, and I'm not sure that we will actually see it played anytime soon. We have Glalie, a reverse Bewear, a Gothitelle, and Darkness Energy. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've done any videos. I've had very little sleep last night. So you'll have to be patient with me a little bit. Okay, we have a Gummy, a Wailmer, Beldum, Rockruff, Machop, Komoola, Energy Lotto, Aqua Patch, a reverse Bellsprout, and a hyper rare Lycanroc GX. This has actually made me really happy with this box so far. The fact that I've got 2 Lycanroc GXs, 1 full art and 1 hyper rare. Don't know if you guys can see that. It's quite a beautiful card. Worth a decent bit of money as well, but I won't be selling any of this stuff. I'll be trying to complete the Master Collection, and then I'll be building decks for tournaments. Got a good few tournaments coming up, and I might be going down to Liverpool regionals on 30th of July. Might have some interesting decks. Not entirely sure what I'm going to be playing. A lot of people have been telling me to play the new Garbodor lately with Wobbuffet or Tauros or Drampa. I've seen some other decks where Coco's pretty interesting, like Coco Raikou. I used to play Raikou Electrode, so I might actually go into Coco. Coco's actually quite favourite favourite Tapu to me. Electric's just one of my favourite types, other than Ghost slash Psychic. So I might actually play around with that, but I don't actually see myself playing Coco GX at the regionals. It's not powerful enough, and I want to do well the event, at least make day 2, or hopefully make top 8 with the whatever deck that I'm playing. There's some other decks that I'm looking at the moment that are quite powerful and might actually make a difference in the meta, but I'll get to them with the next few videos. So Trubbish, Jangmo, Wimpod, Gumi, Wishy-Washy, Sudowoodo. So this card, it's very underrated, but what I love about this is the fact that it's got an ability called Roadblock. If your opponent can't have more than 4 bench Pokemon. If they have 5 or more bench Pokemon, they discard bench Pokemon until they have 4 on the bench. If more than one effect changes the number of bench Pokemon allowed, use the small number. So if your opponent has Skyfield and they're playing something like Mega Ray or Mega Gardevoir from Steam Siege, then this card is a great counter, because even if they've got the Skyfield and you've got this on your bench, they can only have 4. You can have 8, but they can only have 4, which reduces the power output from those decks. I might actually start testing this guy around when I can, because I quite like the idea that this thing can make such a difference. It's not just against those decks. You can actually stop reduce Shaman setups by an extra card or so, just by dropping this guy on. They can only have 4 bench Pokemon. You can clog them up, and they can't do anything unless they hex. And some of the decks that you're going to be hitting, they don't want to hex just to stop this guy, because it can hurt them at that point. So this card's actually a little bit better than I've heard so far. I actually love this card just for that. It's got the attack rock throw, 2 energies, 1 fight and 1 colorless for 40, but it doesn't really matter at that point. 100 HP and 2 retreat cost. Weak to water, because he's a rock type. No, I just love this card. We also have the new Rescue Stretcher. Rescue Stretcher has been getting a lot of play. Choose one of either of the effects on it. Put 1 Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, so that's any Pokemon, evolved or not. Shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. So this thing's either a Super Rod or a Buddy Rescue without giving your opponent something back. This thing is outrageous. It's really good, and it should be at least a 1 of, maybe a 2 of in most decks. Most of the time I'm seeing 1 of it, and I think 1's actually enough. Then we have Hakamo, a reverse cast form, and the best thing in the entire set, Garbodor. Everyone's loving this guy. 128 HP, Psychic Pokemon, Stage 1. The first attack is the main attack for the entire deck, Trashalange. It does 20 damage for each item card in your opponent's discard pile. So if they've got 6 item cards in their discard pile, that's 120. If they've got 9, that's 180. And because most people cycle through their item cards very easily just to get in a setup, this thing will easily one-shot on the first go, and it's only costing a single Psychic Energy. The second attack, Acid Spray, 70 damage, flip a coin, if heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It's actually not that bad, but it's not what you're going to be aiming to use most of the time. You can do it, it's just you're going to focus on the Trashalange to get those one-hit knockouts most of the time, especially when this guy's a non-EX, non-GX Pokemon. So even if you have to trade off with your opponent, they're only taking 1, and most of the time you're going to be taking 2 with this. You can make your entire game a lot easier just by playing Garbodor and shooting your opponent. Most decks can't rely on playing less item cards, or in their turns not playing as many, because then they won't get a fast enough setup, which means that they're going to lose anyway, because they will just go into Lele or Tauros and start attacking. As soon as they drop too many items, you just go straight into Garbodor and one shot, and it's so good. This is a regular rare, and we've got a Grass Energy. So far so good, guys. Three and 3. So far no lilies from this box, but we never know. I already have 6 lilies. I'm happy with that at the moment. I would like another couple more lilies because I've got built so many decks at the moment. Snuffle, Slowpoke, Wishy-Washy, Nosepass, Wimpod, Rescue Stretcher, Sudowoodo, Metang, a reverse Victini, and a Lunala. Steal Energy. Almost through the first half of this box, and we've got 2 other boxes afterwards. Nosepass, Castform, Phantump, Taillow, Wailmer, Sableye, Max Potion. Max Potion's back. It's actually alright in this format, especially with Coco around, and also with Yveltal moving energies through Y-Cyclone onto Drampas and other things. This card's actually still good. A Lone Graveler, a Reverse Lampent, and the new Talonflame. Talonflame's quite not that great. Water Energy. Litwick, Gligar, Vanillite, Mudbray, Salandit, Machoke, Slowbro, Watchog, Reverse Tail, and Wishcash, and Lightning Energy. Three and 3. Pattrap, Snorunt, Murkrow, Salandit, Delibird, Mareanie, Field Blower. Field Blower is the best item card that we've actually seen out of this set other than Choice Band. The fact that you can choose up to 2 in any combination Pokemon Tool cards and Stadium cards in play and discard them. You can do this to your opponents, you could do this to yours if for any good reason that you want to shoot your own. But most of the time you're going to be shooting your opponent's tool cards, their Stadium and tool card. This thing gets around Fighting Fury Belt, Choice Bands, any annoying stadiums in play that you can't just drop your own stadium against, or if you're not playing any stadium. This thing is really phenomenal. I would probably play 1 to 2 in every deck with this thing. This thing is too good not to play, especially with the amount of tool cards that are getting played in the format. We've got the Rita, a Reverse Hollow Lilligant, a Half Art Tapu Lele. This thing makes me really happy. I've got an extra Lele now, and I can start building extra decks now because I've got to build a deck for myself, a deck for my girlfriend, and a deck possibly for one of my friends who plays VGC competitively, but he might actually consider playing TCG in Liverpool just for the Lone Ninetales playmat that's getting dished out for the top 8. We're not too sure, but we want to be prepared. This thing is really good because if you remember from the expanded format, we had Jirachi EX and also X-Ball Mewtwo EX. Tapu Lele is basically both of those, so it's got the ability Wonder Tag. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench during your turn, you can set any support card from your deck and add it to your hand. That's really good for searching out turn 1 Hex, turn 1 Lily, Lysander, Skyla, Center Lady. It's just really good. It's got 170 HP and the attack is also energy drive. So just like X-Ball Mewtwo, double Colossus, it does 20 damage times the amount of energies on both active Pokemon. It also has the attack Tapu Cure GX for 1 Psychic Energy, heal all damage from 2 of your bench Pokemon. It's actually not that bad. Most of the time you won't be using this unless you're using it in something like Lily Garbodor because you'll have access to the Psychic Energy, but most of the time you won't be using it. It's also got a 1 Retreat Cross, and as with every other Tapu, it's got no weakness, which is really good. It makes this guy even more powerful. Okay, so that was our first half. Now we're on to our second half. 3 and 3. We've got Patrat, Gothita, Castform, Tentacool, Clefairy, Max Potion, Clefable, Lampent, a reverse Delibird, and a half art Vikavolt GX. It's not one of the best things that I've seen pulled from this set, but it's not one of the worst either. It's got the attack Charge Beam, 50 damage for lightning energy, and attach an energy card from your discard pile to this Pokemon, so you can even be special energy, which is pretty nice. It's got the attack Super Zap Cannon, 1 lightning and 3 colorless, 180 damage, discard 2 energy cards from this Pokemon. And then it's got Gigatron GX as its GX move, 1 lightning and 3 colorless. This attack does 60 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, which isn't that bad actually. I quite like that, especially if you're playing it with the new Coco that's coming out for spreading damage. It's got 240 HP, lightning Pokemon, weakness to fighting, 1 retreat cost, and resistance to steel. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. I've seen worse cards come out, and this thing's actually playable. One of my friends built a deck, and it actually worked. I quite like it. I'm hoping to see more of it at some point. I might build something around it myself. Next pack. Because of the time frame with this video, I might make it into 3 separate videos. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to make it into 3 separate videos. So we've got a Mudbray, a Lone Sandshrew, Cottony, Bellsprout, Gligar, Beware, Lampent, Clefable, a reverse Sudowoodo, which I'm really happy with, and a rare Lone Golem, and Steel Energy. Sorry guys, I know a lot of you will be pretty salty for the fact that I've not sleeved any of these GXs so far. I've just not actually cracked out my sleeves. After this video I will crack my sleeves out for the next 2 booster box openings. So 3 and 3. Snorunt, Pancham, Bellsprout, Cottony, Carvanha, Field Blower, Gothorita, Energy Recycler's back. Not seeing much difference really. It's not doing anything still. The only deck that I can see that will actually play is Typhlosion, but that's not even doing anything, so not really that great still. Reverse Cottony, and a rare Victory Bell, and Darkness Energy. Three and 3. So we have a Chansey, a Petal, Trubbish, Machop, a Lone Geodude, Kamola, Slowbro, Brooklet Hill. Brooklet Hill is quite interesting. Once during each player's turn, that player may search their deck for a basic water Pokemon or a basic fighting Pokemon and put it onto the bench. It's actually not that bad. It's not the greatest, but the fact that you can search out what you need at the time, especially if you're only playing basics, such as Lapras GX, Vulpix GX as well. You can also use it to get your Rockruffs. I don't really see this getting played over Rough Seas or Scorched Earth, depending on which deck you're playing. But it's a nice choice if you really wanted to. I'm going to start testing it at some point and seeing what I think of it personally, but just now it's an alright card, just not one of the best. We have a reverse Garbodor, which makes me really happy, and Oricorio. Oricorio is really good for Volcanion decks, Incineroar decks, for the Passionate Dance attack, 1 fire energy, search your deck for up to 3 basic fire Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. It also has the Kindle attack for 2 fire energy, 30 damage. Discard the energy from this Pokemon. If you do, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. That's actually quite nice for energy destruction in Volcanion. The card's actually quite nice. I'm going to test that as well in Volcanion and see what it could do. I've got a few friends that are testing 2 lineup in Volcanion, and they're quite enjoying it so far. We also have fire energy to go with that Oricorio. So 3 and 3. We got a Helioptile, Murkrow, Alolan Sandshrew, Machop, Chansey, Gliscor, Brooklet Hakamo, Kamola, that's a reverse holo Kamola, my bad, and a rare Honchkrow. Honchkrow is very underrated. The first attack does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. This could be on the bench, and it's cost the Darkness Energy. He has 110 HP and he's a stage 1. The second attack, Raven's Claw, is the main point with this guy. So what it does is 10 damage and then 10 more damage for each damage counter on all your opponent's Pokemon. If you can spread damage, then this guy will build up really easily and it becomes a phenomenal attacker. I love this card so much. I think it's very underrated and I think people should have a look and see what they can build out of it. I'll definitely be building some decks around this guy just because of how stupid that Raven's Claw attack is. I know some people disagree with me, but I'll show you in the next few videos what this guy can really do. And we have a Fairy Energy. So 3 and 3. We have a Fletchling, a Litwick, Gothita, Pancham, a Alolan Vulpix, Alter the Moon, Machoke, Gliscor, a Reverse Petal, and Pangoro, and Lightning Energy. Three and 3. Petal, Beldum, Alolan Vulpix, Slowpoke, Machop, Alolan Graveler, Alter the Sun, Alter the Moon, hey Sun and Moon, Field Blower, and Oricorio. This isn't really that good of an Oricorio. Vital Dance, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may search your deck up for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck. The fact that this is meant to be a replacement for Professor's Letter, it doesn't seem that great to me. The fact that you're having to waste a bench spot just to do that. I don't see this guy actually getting any play at all. Quite useless. Grass Energy. So 3 and 3. Beldum, Tentacool, Clefairy, Barboach, Carvanha, Energy Recycler, Tentacool, Choice Band, a Reverse Chandelure, and a Sharpedo, and Water Energy. My bad, almost forgot to do the card trick. I'm not used to doing this. We have a Clefairy, Rockruff, Barboach, Alolan Geodude, Fletchling, Aether Paradise Conservation Area, Tentacruel, Mallow, a Reverse Tentacruel, and Trevenant. Right, so Trevenant's actually been a lot of talk from where I am. It's a stage 1 with 120 HP, grass type, has the attacks Poltergeist and Horns and Leech. So what makes this guy good is the fact that he's a stage 1 grass Pokemon, and so is the Phantom. So with Fortress Giant Plants, you can go straight into him and then straight into the Psychic type Trevenant Break. And you can use Psychic Energies and spread damage through Trevenant Break, or you can use Double Colossus and use the Poltergeist attack. Poltergeist is 30 damage for each trainer card in your opponent's hand. So they have to reveal their hand, and for each trainer card you find there, you're doing 30 damage. That's pretty good for Trevenant. A lot of people are quite afraid of this, especially with paired with Vileplume. It's a big deal because they are forced to use supporters, which are also trainers as well. So they're if they're clogged at that point, you're going to be hitting for some heavy damage. There is some bad points to this card because we found the ruling with this guy and Marowak. Marowak stops your opponent from affecting your hand. So with Marowak and Trevenant, if they attack, the ruling in Japan is also the ruling here, as I found, which was quite interesting. If they attack, you do not reveal your hand, which means that Poltergeist does 0. But I don't see us taking Marowak just for this one deck because there's nothing else that's really mattering with Marowak, because people can still affect the hand with Delinquent, this Team Skullgrunt. So this card is really, it's not something that we're going to see Marowak teched just for this. This card can still see a lot of play, and it's quite strong, especially with evolutions as well, so you can double the damage if you really wanted to. But most of the time you're going to see this paired with Vileplume and Lele. And we have a Psychic Energy. Feel like we're missing some of these GXs now. So we have a Machop, Wilmer, Stuffle, Phantom, Helioptile, Hala, Sudowoodo, Mallow, a Reverse Kanjumo, and Rayquaza. Rayquaza is a really interesting card. I actually quite like this. Turbo Storm, 30 damage for a Double Colossus. It's got 120 HP. Now, Turbo Storm, what it does is it attaches 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. That's actually a lot better than the Baby Yveltal was. The fact that you're energy accelerating 2. So this is basically your Baby Volcanion for the Yveltal based decks, or any other decks that you need to energy accelerate for. I see this thing going to get a good decent amount of play for those sort of decks, maybe tier 2 base decks more than tier 1, because the tier 1 can accelerate fast enough and doesn't need something like Rayquaza. But tier 2 base decks, Rayquaza has a place in my opinion. Fighting Energy. Almost done with this first box, and we'll go into the second video in a few short moments. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we got a Kinjamu, Wimpod, Gumi, Wishy Washy, Vanillite, Whimsicott, Marini, Hala, a Reverse Trevenant, and a full art Alolan Ninetales. I love this card. The art on it is just beautiful. It's also one of the top decks that we're seeing. A lot of people are quite interested. It's a top deck in Japan because it's got 210 HP. It's a water type Pokemon, so you can use Aqua Patch for this. And also because of the own Vulpix, you can search them out quite early on. First attack for 2 colorless, Ice Blade. This attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for benched. That's pretty good for shooting early on. The Blizzard Edge attack, 2 water energy and a colorless, 160 damage. Discard 2 energy cards from his opponent. So you're going to be one-shotting because of Choice Band. You're going to also one-shot if you use the Ice Blade first and then Blizzard Edge afterwards. That's about 210 damage. Ice Path GX, move all damage cards from this Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. That is a phenomenal attack. You can basically keep taking hits, and then Lysander and shoot something that's more of a threat, or just to get a easy victory. This thing is worth it. In fact, you don't even need to Lysander. The fact that this thing says move all damage counters to one of your opponent's. No, in fact, my bad. It actually says the opponent's active. So Lysander play would still work. And the fact that with Lele, drop Lele, search Lysander, play Lysander, Ice Path GX, and you'll get a free win off of that. This card's really good. And the Steel Energy. So I feel that this might be our limit with the ultra rares, because we're low on rares, but hey, we never know. I've seen people pull 8 in these boxes. So far we have 6. So Mudbray, Delibird, Wishy Washy, Kunjomo, Wimpod, Whimsicott, Vanillish, Aether Paradise, a Reverse Carvanha, and a Politoed. Politoed's quite interesting with the attack roll call, 1 water energy, search your deck for a Poliwag, Poliwhirl, and Poliwrath, put them onto your bench and shuffle your deck. Not the greatest, but for small fun decks, I actually quite like this. I'm going to build something around it with the Evolutions Poliwrath and see what I can do just for a bit of a laugh. I quite like this, and I like Toads. Other than Seismitoad, everyone hates Seismitoad. Quake and Punch should always stay away, especially when it's got double colors for an attack. Psychic Energy. So 3 and 3. So we have a Castform, Phantump, Taillow, Wailmer, Trubbish, Alomola, Choice Band, Vanillish, a Reverse Gliscor, and a Komodo GX half art. It's actually one of the lesser GXs in the set, because no one really wants to play it. It takes a bit too long to drop them out, and because of the fairy weakness, we've still got Mega Gardevoir from Primal Clash, as well as Steam Siege that are still getting played around. But he's got 240 HP, and his first attack costs Colorless, 30 damage, Adamant Press. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage after attacks. From attacks and after applying weakness and resistance. Not bad, but I've seen better. It's also got the attack Shred, just like Hydreigon did, but it does 130, and it costs a Lightning, Fire, Fighting, and double Colorless. And this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So it gets around stuff like Glaceon, and anything else that's like that. It's not that bad. And its GX move is Ultra Uppercut GX. Same energy cost, Lightning, Fighting, and double Colorless, and all it does is 240 damage. That's basically it, and there's no added effect. It's underrated for good reasons, basically, because people don't want to play this. It takes too long for a stage 2 that you're having to set up, whereas there's better things like Salamence, Giratina, but with the rotation, we never know, we could see some play with this guy. I'm actually interested in building something just for a laugh with this guy and seeing where we can go with it. And Water Energy. Few packs left. So 3 and 3. We have Snorunt, Murkrow, Salandit, Delibird, Nosepass, Fletchinder, Sliggoo, Beware, a Reverse Gothitelle, and a Rare Mudsdale, Lightning Energy. With the next video, I won't be explaining everything as I've done it with this video already. So I'll make the next video a little bit faster. I just felt that it'd be good for the first video to explain all this stuff that for you guys to know, as well as show that I know what most of this stuff does. Right, so Snorunt, Castform, Vanillite, Murkrow, Salandit, Multi-Switch, Fletchinder, a Lone Graveler, a Reverse Aether Paradise, and a Helioscus, and Psychic Energy. Three and three. A Lone Sandshrew, Cottony, Bellsprout, Gligar, Patrat, Enhance Hammer, Aqua Patch, Weepinbell, a Reverse Phantom, and an Oricorio. Fire Energy. Three and three. My bad with these. So we have a Gligar, a Lone Geodude, Patrat, Litwick, Pancham, Glalie, Watchog, Weepinbell, a Reverse Patrat, and Wailord. And last pack for this box opening. Can we get something else good? So 3 and 3. Petal, Trubbish, Machop, a Lone Geodude, Mudbray, Watchog, Multi-Switch, Kamoola, a Reverse Politoed. I'm so happy because I've got a secret rare candy and a Fighting Energy. Thank you guys for watching. Click the like button down below and subscribe and share. I will see you guys in the next video.